What happened? Did it pause? No. Why did it pause? Connection. Should be doing fine. Continuum live. Yeah. Well, hello, this is Cuckoo. So, live control room. In live, broadcast alert. Influence settings. Public. Publish. Yeah, I guess we're live now. View on live control room. Yeah, view on watch page. I guess we're live now, aren't we? Yeah. I think I'll turn off the video myself to save some bandwidth, and then I'll share this. So when I do that, just share this to my Facebook. I'm gonna play the Continuum Fingerboard live. Let's see, go to my page here and post it. Trying out the Continuum Fingerboard live streaming on YouTube. Yeah. So the point with streaming right now is that I'd like to see how well Moderators. Yeah, hello. Flute. A flute would be cool. Yeah, you know, currently I don't have a real flute. Let's see. Right now I've got like Violin Patch. It sounds like this. So as you can see, it's extremely sensitive. Can you see my fingers? I'm barely touching it, and it's tactile. This is not like a touch surface. There's no force sensors. It's tactile and mechanical. So I'm actually pushing down the neoprene down on bars lying on springs, and when you push down the springs closer to the magnetical sensors, they can feel how close they're actually physically located to the sensor. So there's no artificial non-moving force sensor as there are in many other expressive surfaces. This is a physical movement, and it makes it so much more precise. You were Thomas, you were asking about a harp or a banjo. I could, let's say, go to the computer, and because I can see all the sound, all the names of the sounds here, so I'll load the koto sound. See what you think about that. And all the noise you can hear is actually the fan on my computer, because it's compressing this live stream. So if I turn off the microphone, so as you can hear, it's very you say it's hard to play chords because there is no height difference between black and white keys. The more fingers you add to your playing style, the more sharp you need to be. You have to look at your fingers, because as you say, there is no physical difference between black and white keys, and it's constructed this way so that it could be totally free. It's like there's nothing stopping you. I mean, there are other expressive keyboards like the C-board, for instance, that has the like wavy keys, but it doesn't really work to play freely like this. Like this sound, for instance, is tuned, so it's hitting the note within the tone grid. I could turn it off and on, or I could gradually turn it off and on, but especially for instruments like this, when you strike a note like this. It's quite difficult if it's totally free in pitch to actually hit the right note. But the violin that I was playing before, yeah, I had it stored there. As you can hear, it's totally free in pitch. I could turn on auto tuning gradually. If I want to play a chord, for instance, the more fingers are involved in my playing style, the more difficult it's gonna be to play clean, like a C major. Sorry, I turn on some sort of monophonic mode here. Where is it? Now it's quite a good chord, but sometimes you need too much adjustment. The more fingers you add to it, and then if I want to play broadly in tune, I can, or I could do it gradually. I could turn it up to quite high, like 100, and then you can still do sliding, but it's easier. It's much easier to play in tune, but it's all about what kind of style you're trying to play. I'm gonna read some comments now. Let's see. Yeah, I like that castaway look. Yeah, it has a nice look, hasn't it? It's quite, because there are no displays and no, it doesn't look complex. It's just the surface that you play, and but all the sounds are in it. It's a synthesizer inside it, and it's very special. But let's see. You look like you haven't taken a bath in 2 weeks. It's red stuff. Yeah, well, maybe that's not too far from the truth. It looks like it could produce koto-like sound. Yeah, just playing one just now. There's a lot of so there is a bit of a learning curve to when you start playing the continuum, playing instruments. If you're good at some instruments, you know that there's a bit of a learning curve to any instrument if you want to be really good, and so with the continuum as well. But some players, they get it quickly, and then they start to adapt really quickly and learn. But you have to practice to become really good. Right, with this violin sound, right now it's totally free in pitch, so if I'm gonna play a melody, I need to stay really sharp and listen to my mistakes and my microtonal changes, and instantly adapt the way that any violin player knows how to do instantly. And they are also been training and practicing with a muscle memory in their hands. So let's do a little. So you can hear that. At first, when I pressed the octave, I was off pitch. And when I hear that I'm off pitch, I instantly adjust. And it's just the way it works with any fretless instrument. And if you've been playing cello for years, you know that, at first when you play it, you have to adjust all the times. And then after years of practicing, you'll have it in your muscle memory. Let's try another one. Let's see. Yeah, you tried it. Yeah, you've tried it. I'm not a classically trained keyboardist, but I've been playing the keyboard for many, many years on pianos. So although I don't have a classical background, I I have played a lot of piano in my life. So if you're a sensitive person, then you'll instantly adapt. If you're not so sensitive, I've been to show floors where people try this and they just bang it like it was a stage piano, and they don't appreciate the sensitivity. Then maybe it'll take a little time to adapt, but let's try another sound. Dolce Cristallo. Let's see. I'm gonna turn off the microphone now so we don't hear this fan on my computer. This is an absolutely gorgeous patch that Edmund Egan has made, and he's the creator of all the sounds of this, and he's also the creator of the sound engine. It's a very complex matrix style digital sound engine powering all the sounds here that is very open, and you could do physical modeling and other things as well. It's a very, very interesting synthesizer. I'm gonna read some comments now. Yeah, I'm a melody guy, so I come up with melodies and harmonies quickly, but sometimes I get stuck in old patterns, and I have to really struggle to reinvent myself. How does the fingerboard change how you compose? That's a good question. I've been making a soundtrack for an animated short film, and it's just done actually, and I got this Continuum specifically for that that soundtrack, and I have hello everyone joining in. And when I made the soundtrack, I had this in mind already before I started making it. And what I realized is, first of all, this is in a way very similar to an acoustic instrument, because with acoustic instruments, especially expressive instruments, you're playing it and you're phrasing it and expressing all the times until and then if you make a few recordings, sometimes it's a bit difficult to edit it, because you know that the way you played it in that particular recording was phrased in a way that doesn't really sound similar to the way you phrased it in another recording. So it's quite difficult to edit and cut in the middle of an expressive performance like this. So I had to really stay really sharp and do a lot of takes for a lot of the recordings. Like, it's not like making a special violin-like thing for a specific part of the soundtrack. It's not uncommon that I had to do like 40 takes or so until I nailed it, and then in the end maybe I even had to make a few cuts even so. But I think the expressive part of it is what makes it so interesting for especially soundtrack design. So it has changed my way to play expressive. Like on the analog keys, for instance, I love to use the joystick as like an expressive extension, but not to the level of what you could do here. Let's take another patch. I've never played any violins or stuff before. I've played I can play the guitar, not very well, but I can play guitar. It's a stringed instrument, but not ever played in a bowed instrument or fretless, to be honest. Okay, here is another patch. It's called French sax. It's something I like particularly. I'm gonna turn off the microphone to cut away the fan noise from my computer. Let's see. Yeah, with a sound like this, sometimes as you say, Connor, the microtones sounds great with that, and like you know, a tempered scale. But what about the ones in the middle there? So microtone, like quarter tones, that's very common in folk music from the Balkan and Greece and Turkey and stuff, a lot of countries, and they're very interesting, and it's just difficult to play on a regular keyboard. But here you've access to every microtonal adjustment that you can actually. It's highly sensitive to pitch. So. This would be like a clean. The reason why this actually sounds genuine is because I'm using microtones that is well, I'm not an expert on microtonal music or folk music from the Balkan, but if you play this on a well-tempered manner, it doesn't sound genuine because you're not playing microtones and quarter tones as they should be played. This is a well-tempered interval. It should be, and that's when it sounds genuine. You can hear the difference, and some people are sensitive to microtonal intervals, and some people maybe not that sensitive and don't care about that stuff. But if you do care, this is the way to go. This is like a really great instrument. Yeah, really like it. Okay, I'm gonna check the comments now. So great answer. Why didn't you decide to go the acoustic route regarding expression? What drew you to this instrument? First of all, I'm a bit of a synthesizer nerd. I really like synthesizers of all kinds, and you know, even though I really appreciate acoustic instruments, I do, but there is no real I don't have if you want to buy a lot of acoustic instruments, it's going to cost you a lot of money, and with this one it's expensive as it is now, but there's a lot of experiments you could do with it. It's not an acoustic instrument, but it has an expression that I really appreciate. So I was interested to have an instrument that I can operate on myself and create different sounds that I could, you know, experiment with. And with acoustic instruments, I don't know, I really dig it, but I appreciate to be around acoustic musicians and to listen to how much work they've put into making their instrument sound really well. Yeah, it's not, you know, I don't know, I'm just a synth guy, I guess. So, and this, what drew me specifically to the Continuum is that it's the first time I touched it, I was blown away. It was just a magical experience, and I still think it's a magical experience, even though I'm know how to play it a little better now, and I'm familiar with how to build the sounds. I just think it's an amazing instrument. Let's see, nice sound. There's a sax patch. Well, that patch was called French sax. There is another sort of sax-like patch. It's called wind. And it sounds like this. No, it's not a sax patch. It's more like a fluty something. So just to be clear, all the fingers are independent, like, and pressing the surface on most of the sound, many of the sounds, doesn't just start and release a sound. It's the way you approach the surface. That shows you how, that decides how the sound will live. Yeah. Let's see. Sometimes it's cliffing. Yeah, maybe I should check the streaming app. Maybe I'm a bit louder. If it clips, normally it's just because, first of all, it's so dynamic. It's very, very dynamic. So sometimes it's a bit out of the scale of what my digital sound interface can operate with. So sometimes it would make sense to use a limiter or a light compression on some of the sounds, and I could do that in the patches. I could change the patches to be a bit less expressive or dynamic. So most of the time, if you hear clipping, it's because I'm exceeding the top. It's topping out here. I could probably lower the input volume a bit here. So yeah, let's see. Is it very heavy? If I lift, I don't know the weight to this thing. It's not very heavy. It's certainly not as heavy as a full, like a smaller stage Nord keyboard or something. It's maybe about the weight of a I don't know, Nord Electro or something. It's weighty, but it's not extremely heavy. The enclosure is metal, and all the sensor bars are metal. So there's an array of aluminum bars, hundreds of them, lying just side by side here. And they, together with the enclosure, is probably accounting for most of the weight. Let's see. Are you going to be celebrating 420? Not really sure what that is. So I don't know. Yeah, okay, I'm going to try and check the levels. Did that distort? I think I had the volume up a little bit loud on the streaming app just before, so I hope it's not clipping now. Sorry about that. There is a MIDI out, yes, and MIDI in, so you can record everything on this with MIDI and also play it back on the instrument with MIDI and correct it. But it's supporting the new MPE standard. Is it called MPE? Yeah, like the expressive MIDI control standard, and it was actually sort of initiated by this machine. And but you have to know that compared to what is going on internally, the MIDI port doesn't communicate at all as fast as the sensors are working inside of it. So when you send out MIDI, it's not actually all the data that's going on internally. So I don't know, there might be some stepping that you could hear when you record MIDI, and so that's just the way. MIDI is not the fastest protocol in the world. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's heavy. It doesn't really slide on the desk. No, it's heavier than that. Let's see. Oh, no, I don't celebrate the marijuana day. I'm not a weed guy. I don't do any drugs. No alcohol, no smoke, no nothing like that. So, well, it's not for me. Sorry to disappoint you. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it didn't clip. Good. Sorry about the levels before. Yeah, it's a three-dimensional input, like pitch, expression, and the amplitude. Okay, I'm just gonna take another sound. Okay, I'm just gonna read this. Hey Cuckoo, is it a standalone or require a computer? It does not require a computer. It's standalone. The synthesizer is internal. If you want to create or modify patches, you need a computer with the editor. But the editor doesn't produce sounds from the computer. It just monitors the engine inside here. And if you want to save those patches, the easiest way is to manage it all with a computer and then Like now, I've saved 16 user presets that I could easily press this little button on the side. This turns red, and then I could press a button here, like 4 for instance, which is this sound. Or press it and press 5. Or 6. So this could be a good way if you're playing a live show and you prepare like your patches, and you could quickly navigate between them. There's also an iPad or iPhone app where you can monitor, even change some of the parameters, but not create sounds from scratch. It's a bit too complex to solve on a static interface, or you could probably solve it on an iPad, but right now there's only the app for the Mac or PC if you want to create sounds. So the sound is internal, and you don't need a computer. I'm going to play a sound now and turn off the volume. This is a really cool sound. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but a friend of mine called Christophe, and he's really a talented sound designer. He has made this sound. I think it sounds so cool with physical modeling of waveguide sounds like this. Sounds, yeah, micro delays and stuff, building up physical sounds. Like if I press it, it dies, right? But when I wiggle the finger a bit, kind of massage new energy into the tone. It's sort of a physical modeling. It's possible with this editor or with this engine. Let's see. To me, it sounds really physical, especially when I'm moving the fingers. It almost sounds like there is a contact microphone in the machine. Yeah, very, very special patch. So do you think this instrument can be used for like non-film music, like pop or electro stuff? Oh yeah, definitely. It's all about, how you would like to, what kind of sounds you would like in there. And like this sound, it's a bit funky, a bit strange, but I'd like to use it in some sort of cuckoo, strange pop electro music, yeah. And the engine is certainly powerful enough to do any familiar sound too. Like here is an FM sound that I made. Very, very basic patch. So, you could do any sound you want. Here's another sound that I made. I tried actually to make a sort of piano, FM piano patch. I didn't quite get it right, but this is gonna raise the volume a bit. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, perhaps not the best patch in the world, but I made. Yeah, I'm gonna try another patch that I made. Let's see, where is it? My patches. I made. Let's see, where is it? I forgot the name. Yeah, here. Touch harp, I think I called it. See what it sounds like. Yeah, this may be a good example of something. It sort of borrows a bit of that acoustic feel, but it's totally electronic. I wanted to try and see if there's something with the Continuum that prevents it to make full sub-rich and crisp sounds, because most of the patches found on it are sort of in the acoustic sound space. If this is the equalizer, many sounds are like this, where in electronic music many sounds are like this, bassy and high top. So I tried this with that in mind. I think it's pretty heavy in the bass, with also some crisp overtones. Yeah. Let's see some comments here. Oh, many comments. So so C-board rise, much better feeling, more playable. The C-board rise is easier to pick up, I guess. It's more familiar to keyboard players, but I think it's not as precise. The sensors are not as precise, and it's a bit gooey to stick your fingers onto those rising pieces of. It's sort of silicone or something in there. Makes it a bit gooey and a bit more heavy to play. Actually, this is very light. So in terms of easy, it depends on what you want to do. The C-board is more familiar to keyboard players, and so if that means easier, then yeah. But I think this is easier to play if you want to be a bit more free. And I think what sets them apart is the sound engine. And apart from the touch surface, the sound engine is very highly advanced here, whereas in the C-board it's quite quite a standard synthesizer engine. It's not bad, but there's nothing very special about it either. It's okay. See, frequency range. Are there any nice bass patches? There are no real like electronic bass patches in there, but like with this one, you know, I made it with, I can't remember now, yeah, some FM with some noise in there and stuff. So there's the possibility to make bass patches is definitely there. I don't have any Moog synthesizers, no. Could you use it to control an analog synth or digital synth on the computer? Yeah, totally. It has MIDI out and in, and it supports the multi-channel MIDI MPE. Is it called MPE? The new standard of fretless tonal control. MIDI pit. Can't remember what it's called. So yes, you can control other instruments as well, but it really shines if you're controlling an instrument that is set up to respond to the amplitude and to this way of making sounds that's just not starting and stopping. Let's see. Is it possible to change live settings live, like ADSR? Well, in the patches you can set up 1, 2, 3, 4 groups that you can move between, and so every patch has this possibility to move, to have like 4 different collective group settings that can move between states, and these things you can control. There are 2 pedal input ports, so you can have 2 expression pedals to control at least 2 of these groups. There's also an iPad or an iPhone app where you could control these things on the iPad, and you can do it from the Surface, but it's a little bit fiddly to do it from the Surface itself. You can basically press a button here on the side, and then it's waiting for command that are written on this strip. Like for instance, there is a group setting over here. You press it, and then it expects you to type in a number. So it's a bit fiddly, but you can do it from here. The easiest thing is to set up an external MIDI controller for these groups, and then change it from there. Let's see, more questions. Bass riff, yeah, thanks. Hope he does more cover stuff. I really like it. They're very different from other cover remixes. Thank you, thanks. They are the Miley Cyrus cover. Thank you. I kind of like it. Cyrus. I'm never going to get the video editing craze as well. Thank you. So like a manufacturer that and I think it's possible with a manufacturing partner. They could probably make the enclosure in a lighter material and also make it, I don't know, can you see this? I can hold it up like this. You can see this edge here. This is how thick it could be. Now it's going all the way here, so it could be this thick, but right now the power supply unit is inside it and taking up a lot of space. And yeah, so I don't know, I'd like it to be a little bit more portable, but it's not a deal breaker, but I would like it. Let's see if people see what's happening. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna play another sound. Let's see. Yeah, this is a sort of clarinet-like sound that I made. Just gonna turn off the microphone. Yeah, so I made that clarinet. Well, it doesn't sound like like a true clarinet, but I made it. Oh, it has the stream stopped. I can see stream here seems good. Stream YouTube. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stop sound. Yeah, seems like a lot of people have problems with the stream. Sorry about that. Well, actually, I just wanted to test YouTube streaming today because previously I had a bit of trouble with the latency of the stream. I tested it today, and for me, it sounded like it had around 25 seconds of delay, which is much better than I had a year ago when I tried it, which was about 45 seconds. So yeah, maybe it's just a good day for streaming, or maybe it's I don't know. Okay, this is Cuckoo. I'm gonna stop the stream now, and this is Continuum Fingerboard. And for anyone who's interested in the Continuum Fingerboard, and if you live in Norway, today I'll be showing the Continuum Fingerboard at this music store called Four Sound in Trondheimsveien på Skausplass. And this is the store there. They asked me to bring it along a number of times. So now, today at 3 o'clock, I'm going to go there and show it to anyone who's interested and to the manager there. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they'll get one to the store so that everyone who's interested could come in and play it. I hope. Okay, I'm just gonna play a little bit on the Violin Patch, and then it's it for today. So thank you all for watching, and this Cuckoo, please, if you like these videos and helpful tutorials that I make, consider to pop into my Patreon channel, patreon.com/cuckoo music, if you'd like to spare a few dollars every time I release such a video. It's been a pleasure. I'm going to fade out my microphone and play some violin. Thank you for watching this Cuckoo, and peace out, everyone. Over and out.